Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of MNW Firing Line. I am your host, Mojo, and with me as always is my co-host, Faye Jin. How's it going, Faye?
Hello, everybody. Oh, we've had a little bit of a busy week. What with Flashbang on Tuesday, Tuesday night Flashbang, I guess.
Yeah, Tuesday Night Flashbang, and I will apologize. Last week I said that it was going to be on Friday when it was announced later. It was announced on Flashbang that they were going to run it. They were going to run it on Monday or Tuesday, and I completely missed that whenever I was editing. So that is my fault.
Hopefully we got a Flashbang this Friday, though, but that has yet to be announced otherwise, so...
I mean, the good news is that we can always have... Is that, like, at least we're not bogged down by, by TV deals and whatnot. We can just air on Twitch. So, hey, we got that kind of freedom. So, whenever we are able to, we will see when Flashbang goes live and get into that. But speaking about getting into Flashbang before I start ranting up a storm, let's get right on into what was happening on Tuesday night. So, starting with, as always, with Friday Night Flashbang, we're going to start, as always, with some words from the interim general manager, Mr. Lawson.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into another beautiful episode of Friday Night Flashbang, except this time on a Tuesday. You know, Flashbang is normally on a Friday, but for us today, it's a Tuesday. I'm not going to make that reference. I'm out here to address the World Heavyweight Championship title picture. After a hellacious Iron Man cage match, we once again have an inconclusive winner. While Spike fought valiantly, he did not defeat Victor Vicious, but such is the champion's advantage in that Victor did not beat Spike. And so here I'm left with a conundrum just weeks ahead of Multivania. A tremendous main event that still didn't give us a clear winner. And yet, I feel as though we have seen Spike and Victor give us everything that they could possibly have. And on the other hand, I feel as though Spike has still not gotten a fair opportunity. What a shame. So here I am, what to do? Well, Spike and Victor need at least a week to recover, but I have come up with an idea that I think will suffice. You see, next week we are going to have an 8-man showcase match, and the winner of that match will face Victor Vicious in the main event of Multivania. And because I feel it's only fair, I will guarantee Spike a spot in that match. Another piece of news. Later on tonight, we will see Tigiri in action against Moya Draco, and if she wins that match, that will be 4 in a row for the Troll Train. So, Johan, if your wife can win here tonight, I will put you in that showcase, and if you win that match, that will make it 5 in a row. So you will be eligible to face Victor Vicious. Since we're throwing the stakes around, as for the rest, you'll just have to wait and see.
Oh man, lots to unpack there. So, first thing is first, the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship to go into the main event of Multivania, well, one of those nights, is going to be decided in a showcase match. One of those picks is the Voodoo Zombie himself, Spike. Now, and then later on in the night, we're going to be seeing not only a number one contendership match for the Tag Team Championships, but we are going to be seeing Moira Draco take on the Amazon Tigiri. Let's just say more Multivania hopes up in the air. As well as later on in the night, Artemis takes on Kathgena. If Artemis loses, not only is that Graven's, Jack Andrews, Jagger Blackthorn's Multivania dreams vanquished, but also his own. A lot's happening within the first segment here.
I mean, you know what, though, Joe? I mean, people give Loss and plenty of grief, as they should in some aspects, but this is extremely exciting. I don't know about you. It's going to be extremely hard, however, to top that climactic, just the sheer slugfest that was the Spike and Victor Vicious
Oh yeah, for sure.
finality. They went to a draw down to the wire with that
Like
finisher. Oh, again.
if that's not a match of the year contender, I don't know what is.
Oh my god. But we gotta. It seems like Lawson's gonna have to up the stakes again because, I mean, he's right. It wasn't a clear victory. Yeah, Victor defended, but it wasn't. It wasn't as obvious as it should be. But oh, I am so looking forward to see who's gonna be up in that showcase for
Well,
the title shot.
I believe that not only is Spike going to be in there, mind the motorcycle in the background. People love revving those things that close to the bungalow. Dickbags. Anyway, so not only do we know that Spike is in that match, but I believe that it's being rumored that Nitzig Gunkgobla of the Cartel is in that match as well. He made a mention later on in the night about how he wants his fair shot, even though he did technically lose a number one contenders match to Spike. So that we will see come Friday.
That we'll have to see. And we're probably I think we might get some clarification later on in the night, but that is a little bit of ways from here. So that said, what do you got next for these lovely people?
Well, I mentioned our number one. I believe this had number one contendership implications, but ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have Electro Reality, the VR Junkie, and Electroman taking on their old rivals, the Princedom, Sir Reginald, and Sir Percival. And I believe correct me if I am wrong, Faye, and also the audience, I believe this actually did have tag title contention on the line.
Yep, that is true. Shortly before this match, we actually heard a little bit from Electro Reality's manager, Carla, and she said, Brass, go ahead and up the stakes as you see fit to make this match a little bit more memorable. And I suppose they agreed, because, the winner of this match is going to get a tag team title shot at Multiverse.
And that would be the Time Bandits' first defense, if I remember correctly, since winning the titles at Breakdown.
That it would be, because so far we've seen the Time Bandits a little bit in action, and together as well, but there hasn't been a proper defense yet, and that's one of the things that we want to take care of in Multiverse, it seems. Just make sure every belt gets a proper defense.
And honestly speaking, I can't think of two better tag teams than Electro Reality and the Princedom. Princedom becoming one of the fastest rising tag teams that we had on Flashbang this past year alone, since debuting in 2021, and Electro Reality, a pair of Flashbang originals who also feel like they've missed out on their fair shot for those titles, even though they've contended for it, I want to say, one other time against the Bone Warriors, which they were going up against the Bone Warriors. Those are two hard opponents to get over.
Oh no, absolutely. And Electro Reality, not to leave them out in the dust, so to say, because they've also just been overall improving their game, just upping the stakes. Even Carlo went out and said, "Hey, if you want to settle this, Reginald," and Reginald did want to try to settle this little bit of a feud between Electro Reality and the Princedom. Carlo pointed out that if this was supposed to be a best of 5, the Electro Reality would have already won by now, which is rather true. But it seems like just upping the stakes a little bit more is gonna give both sides that little extra edge to just kind of maybe put an end cap in this little feud we've got here.
Oh, for sure. I mean, here we see Electro Man just faked Irish whip and into that uppercut, tagging in his tag partner, the VR Junkie. It's still not known what he sees through that thing. I still think Skyrim.
That would be interesting. Uh, I wonder if he sees like levels and whatnot. Oh no.
Like someone legitimately online said it was the Matrix, and I'm just over here like, come on, you can think of a better answer than that.
Yeah, it's got to be something that's just like endlessly entertaining, like no matter what you run into. Ouch, though. Ooh, I gotta say, like Reginald can take a fair bit of punishment over here. I mean, we keep going on slight tangents, but just like it's hard to look away from this match, especially because there's a whole lot on the line. There's a match at Multiverse, pretty much guaranteed for the winner. So
Yeah, and with the
they're
match at
pulling out everything. Yeah.
And with the match at Multivania, win or lose, that's gonna be a big paycheck. I mean, biggest night of the year usually garners the biggest. Oh, VR bomb! Going. Looks like he's trying. Yeah, a VR bomb and gets right into mounted punches. Looks like he's trying to set up for another. No, looks like he's in the farmer's carry position. Ooh, the slam. 1, 2, and Reginald didn't get. Sorry, Percival didn't get there in time. And ladies and gentlemen, your winners and the number one contenders for the tag titles, the Electro Reality VR Junkie and Electroman, and VR Junkie actually telling the ref to fuck off. Oh God, they're trying to clean out the ring.
I mean, okay, you guys won, but is that really necessary? Come on. I don't think you're gonna get more loot out of him, VR Junkie. Oh, and out he goes.
So your number one contenders with a bit of a caveat, not a bit of a caveat, with a bit of a. I guess they got really excited about the win. Hopefully, they don't let this newfound attitude kind of get to their heads. Last thing we need is the two of the hardest working individuals on the roster leaning into more of the heelish side of things.
Yeah. What's that saying? Like a rotten onion spoils the broth, or something like that.
Like a rotten apple spoils the entire tree or something, or the batch.
Yeah, yeah, one of those. It's hopefully because Carla's gonna be keeping an eye on these guys, so they've definitely got like some backstage support, but hopefully I'm in agreement. Hopefully we don't see any of that at Multivania. Things are gonna be chaotic enough as is.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of chaos, there's still plenty of other things to be resolved in the Flashbang locker room. If anyone's been following the stories of Honor Bound and Shere Khan, uh, well, there's been a little bit of a bet, shall we say? Although I think we're about to hear someone like partially chime in on the matter. If you want to pull that up, Joe.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next we have the Flashbang promo of the week. And this one's coming from Honorbound's own DeLuna 13.
You know, Con, I thought after fighting by your side, hanging out in the ring, and even wrestling against you, you'd know me better. But it appears that's not the case. So instead of getting mad, I'm going to take this opportunity to reintroduce myself to you and everyone else at MNW. Greetings and salutations, my name is Zilla 13. I am the 13th member of the family to wear this mask. I'm a co-founder of Honorbound, a 3-time showcase match winner, one of the few people in the company that has a 9-1 pay-per-view record, and one of 3 people who beat Ginger Boy while he was champion, aside from Henry Holtz and Nero Napier. I'm not a person who poisons the mind of anybody. I'm not someone that does anything evil, shady, or immoral to get what I want. Instead of having to explain that again, I'm going to let my actions speak for themselves. But I will end with this. Colin, I genuinely wish you well in your match against Bulldog. I know that we at Honor Bound will accept the results no matter what happens. The question is, will you?
Shere Khan, we've been up and down this road together. We've been down this same road together. We've been on the same side of the ring and we've been on opposite sides of the ring. But never once have I questioned you as a competitor. But for the first time, I am questioning your intelligence. You see, Khan, when we were rolling on the same side, I thought that might be a long-term thing. But what happened was the landscape of Flashbang changed. After you got taken out by Kevin Blackwell, which, by the way, it was me that came to your aid. Never forget that. Things started to look a little bit different than the last time you were on Flashbang. Whether that was because of the Empire of Terror or the rise of the cartel, things were different. And a different time called for a different strategy. And once the Empire of Terror was no more, I had an opportunity to sit down with Simon the Psycho, and I realized he was held down by Earl King like everybody else that Earl King has used. So yeah, you could talk a lot about his old track record, but let's talk about what he's done recently. None of the stuff that Earl King did can be held against Simon. It's just not fair. You know, funny that you should say that, Bulldog. You're always defending the innocent, but do you really believe that Simon the Psycho is innocent? Think about what you're saying. He's in the same category as Earl King West, the Grim Reaper, Dark Lord Popo, Dark Lord Prinny. All of them are the same. See, Khan, I thought you would have a little bit more empathy than that. I thought you were the kind of person that would judge a man based on his actions. And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Simon might have followed a couple of orders, but he never crossed the same lines as Earl King West or Dark Lord Prinny. Crossed the same lines? Did you forget what he did with Jagger Blackthorn, where he jumped from reality to reality, from dimension to dimension? He loves to play mind games, and he loves to mess with people. You're telling me that's not the same as Earl King West? He's a manipulator. And right now, he's manipulating you and DeLuna. Well, then we're going to have to agree to disagree, Shere Khan. Because unlike Earl King and Dark Lord Prinny, and even how in the world can you put his name in the same sentence as Kevin Blackwell, the man that ripped off your mask, that stole the mask of DeLuna's father? You're going to put that man in the same category as Simon? Yeah, I am. Because as far as I'm concerned, Blackwell was just better at getting the job done. Simon likes to run around and whine and complain and talk about these other forms and the pride of the hunt and the honor of this and the honor of that. The bottom line is, when push came to shove, I pinned his shoulders to the mat. Twice. The kid is a chump. All right, Khan, I don't know what to do with you. The fact that you're basically making me choose between the path that I think that I need to walk and my friendship with you is ridiculous. Have you ever taken a look in the mirror and realized that maybe you're the one that's going down the wrong path? If everybody else is crazy, maybe it's you that's a little loco, compadre. Oh, and a boot to the midsection! Shere Khan had heard enough on trying to reverse. Bulldog with a reverse fall-away DDT. And a clothesline from Khan. Finally, a referee in there to break this up, trying to get Khan off of him. But these two don't want to wait till Multivania to go at it.
So this entire, oh god, this back and forth between Shere Khan and Honorbound, from what we've seen online, it's kind of sparking a bit of controversy here and there, especially when it comes to things that Simon has done for Earl King West and Dark Lord Prinny. Actually, no, I think just Earl King West now that I'm thinking about it. And his current actions. Now, I will say, if someone does show effort into trying to, become someone better than what they were in the past, I'm not going to judge, personally speaking, but I think all Shere Khan sees is the attack dog. And that's kind of the issue between him and not only Graham Martin, but DeLuna.
Yeah, and this has been, oh boy, this has been going for quite a while this feud. This is, if I'm correct, this has pretty much just been going for the last year and pretty much ever since Honor Bound has been formed, right?
Ever since Honor Bound was formed, Shere Khan had some opinions, but he didn't really get a chance to kind of act on them until after his match with Kevin Blackwell, um, and the Were Tiger incident.
That I do remember that. Yes, actually, now that you think about it, which is, oh, hopefully they can get this settled soon. And that's quite the stakes raise on the part of Bulldog, because he's essentially being told to leave his faction and I don't know do what, because you're just at that point it's just like you're just taking a man out of a faction. I guess to weaken them. I don't know. And we got on social media, Blackwell still hasn't been heard from since then.
I mean, you get mauled by a Were Tiger on a Halloween during a full moon, and yeah, no, I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna want to come into work for a hot minute to recover either. That, or maybe he's been bested and he didn't resign. Who knows at this point? But still, though, ladies and gentlemen, one of the matches on Multivania has been confirmed. Essentially, Grant Martin takes on Shere Khan. I believe if Shere Khan wins, Bulldog has to leave Honor Bound. But if the Bulldog wins, what was the stipulation again? That Shere Khan joins them, or like he stops hounding them? No pun intended.
Uh, oh, I am a bad influence on you. Yeah, essentially
Yes,
that
yes,
he
you
has to
are.
leave Honor Bound alone to just do whatever, and that just doesn't sit right with Chircon. Because, I mean, it's not like it's in his authority to monitor them, but he definitely doesn't like what he believes they're doing, so it's going to be an issue of he's not going to be settled, or he's probably not even going to be happy with the circumstances, even if he does win, even if he doesn't win. So, I'm not sure.
So yeah, I mean, Multivania is definitely a platform for big stakes. Big, like, if you were to put this into writing, it would the biggest stories essentially. And oh man, when it comes to these two, you can't get any bigger, especially with them being rivals turned a team turned back into bitter enemies at this point. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna hear about that more, hopefully tomorrow during Flashbang. But until then, we're gonna go with a Multiverse Nexus Wrestling staple, and that is the Showcase match. The king of the Showcase is actually coming back to Multivania once more, ladies and gentlemen. The reigning king himself, Lasume, is going to be in that match since he is the one with the most Showcase wins. And let's see who could qualify for said match. Coming up first, we have the aristocratic Canid. Somebody with, I believe, 3 or 4 Showcase wins under his own belt. And coming in second, we have TK. If she wins this would be her 3rd win this year. Coming in third, we have her old mentor, Naja, the Beast Mom. Coming in fourth, we have, representing the Doofington Estate, the Doof. The blower of the budget himself. Coming in next, we have the man that's easiest on the eyes, Sugarfoot Irons. Gaze upon him in all of his regalia. Coming in next, we got 1/3 of the Trios champions, representing AAA, the Brazilian Bull, Altura Azul. Coming in next, the one that he took the titles from, representing Doom, the Pumpkin King, Mad Jack. And then coming in next, we have the Black Prince, Jack Andrews. Miguel, I thought wasn't the couples match technically considered a showcase win? Or was that technically just like some separate match? Per the records, of course. Because if that's the case, then yeah, it's only one. Anyway, but we start off the match with Sugarfoot Irons going up against Aristocratic Canid. The Doof going up against El Toro. Oof. Good luck there, Doof. We got Naja taking on TK, student and teacher fighting. And then Mad Jack and Jack Andrews. The Jack match. Okay. Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate you, bud. So, Faye, who do you have in this match?
Oh my god. I mean, I was so happy to see so many of these faces in here. This is gonna sound really weird, but for me, it was kind of a tie between Mad Jack and Jack Andrews, actually. I don't know. I mean, he's like evil, I guess, but I like seeing Mad Jack out. He's just fun.
See,
like, a lot of fun.
I am probably the biggest Jack Andrews fan at this point because my god is... The term workhorse is an understatement when it comes to Jack Andrews. And the fact that he's been done so dirty as of late by not only Lawson, but pretty much anybody he's ever teamed with outside of Scott E. Stevens has kind of screwed him over. Anytime he's ever been in like some sort of like tag situation or a situation where he had to rely on anybody, they've always let him down, and he's always been caught in everybody else's bull. Jesus Christ, Jack! So he may have destroyed something beautiful by freaking doing a fisherman's suplex into the stairs, sending Sugarfoot Irons possibly into a resting position.
But kind of going along with what you're saying, though, Jack Andrews has just been... He has been determined to be there, and it's to the point where he just doesn't feel like he can play by the company's rules anymore with how much he's been screwed. And I'd be in agreement, actually. So, I have a feeling we'll be seeing from him some way or another in Multiverse, although I don't think security can really keep him out.
Looks like Duke picked up a second pinfall and over the Pumpkin King, no less. Ooh, man, Magic's got to be upset about that one. Huh. According to Miguel, the part of the records department, only Magic, Otoro, and Sugarfoot Irons don't have any showcase wins in this match. Wait, I thought Doof didn't have any wins. Did Doof win? Hold up. Hey, we got Sugarfoot Irons being eliminated. And then we have Doof putting December. What? That doesn't seem right. Huh. Well, I was flabbergasted. Looks like TK got eliminated by her old teacher, Naja. And looks like Jack and Aristocratic Canid are going at it. Sorry, I could have swore Doof was the only one that was winless. It looks like I may have edited him getting eliminated out. Whoops. Or I did get it and I didn't see it.
We'll just chalk that up to the editing pace that we have had so far, because Tuesday night, so that left only a day and a half or so to cram everything.
My fingers. And it looks like Aristocratic Kenny the Fox got eliminated by the Lion. There's no easy way to sugarcoat that one. Speaking about not sugarcoating it, that counter DDT onto the ramp. Yikes. Looks like Jack Andrews is busted open. Black Prince, the Black Hound of Wales, going up against the Beast Mom, who actually had some very interesting comments about the Moira versus Tigeri match, but I probably am not going to mention them here. She could kick my head off in like a second. Anyway, so in coming up, and then while I was shivering in fear, we have Naja winning this showcase match. And if I remember correctly, that makes it 2 or 3 showcase wins for her. I want to say 3. Because she won her debut showcase at Breakdown 5, as well as another one after that. Miguel, help, please. Anyway, so, Faye, what'd you think of the match?
Oh, I'm just so excited for Multivania because we've got, and we have so much more to cover after this. It's just wonderful. Seeing all the big names pretty much just get thrown out when we're already on the path. So, uh, like I can't be unhappy with a match like that.
Me neither, honestly speaking. And we got confirmation from Miguel Mendez, part of the records department. Yeah, that is Naja's 4th showcase win, tied with Big Rock this year, and also Kelly of the Warzone roster. Yo, what if the king of the showcase is not only has Flashbang people in it, but also Warzone? Huh? Get Kelly in there and Beowulf. God, tear that entire ring apart. Any hoozles. But yeah, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we had an open challenge from the Knights Reaper Zerikis representing Doom. And once again, someone puts out an open challenge. Someone from Vaporwave answers. The one who answered is Rico Rose. Seriously, I think Vaporwave, like, this is how we know Vaporwave is making a comeback. They're up to their old tropes.
Absolutely, and it's just it's great to see to hear from Zericus, who if I'm paying attention, I believe he put out an open challenge essentially, or
yes, he did.
He's just in the Doom boat of we're just gonna go for whatever we feel like, and they're unafraid to get in the ring with anybody, which again I'm glad to see. They're sort of like they're sort of like they're sort of like title shot gatekeepers in their own right, aren't they? Because they've held those belts for so long, and any of them, I say this very confidently, can just go for any of the belts and the title shots. So if you can face off again, go up against them, you are in that same category.
Oh, for sure, because like Night Reaper, Zerikis, Magic, and Michael Macabre of Doom are 3 very fierce competitors, and not only have they mastered trios action, but also, I mean, Zerikis and Magic were one of the top premier tag teams when they were back on Warzone during the Inquisition stay. And, oh man, there's a bunch of titles. I mean, hell, Magic and Zerikis could go for the Interdimensional. Magic could go for the World title. I mean, they could go for tag titles once more. Any combination of them. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, actually, Magic with the Interdimensional title is kind of a scary thought. He has access to all the multiverses. That is a terrifying thought, if I'm being completely honest. Macabre would definitely be the, I guess, safer bet on that one. But even then, oh god. They don't call him the Harbinger of the Apocalypse for a reason. All those is going for that guillotine leg drop, but misses. Rico trying to capitalize, but Zerikis is on top of him. That veteran-like mindset, just trying to stay on top of your opponent. Not letting one setback kind of get the better of you. Although it is actually nice seeing Zerikis in action, because he did do fairly well in the C101. I believe he got, like, ultimately ended in, I want to say 3rd if my memory checks out. Yeah, he was like he was up in that like the high third next to um like right under like Semjax and Gemini. And of course, Rico Rose, the heavy Vaporwave. I mean, kind of showing that right here and now, just tossing around Xerxes and just delivering very powerful strikes. Very precise, too. Apologies for the stuttering, ladies and gentlemen. When I pulled the VOD to edit these videos, there was just some sort of, like, feedback. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, it's alright, though. It's just the equipment working overtime. We've got a lot of stuff that we're getting prepared for everybody. One,
Yeah.
two, and oh, that is Rico Rose, your winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Xerxes.
Tough win on his part.
Xerxes sent out the challenge. Rico answered, and then some. Your winner, Rico Rose. And here we see, yeah, there he is. Xerxes sitting on the side of the ring. He does not look happy. Also, watch this. The fade with those eyes, that's proper menacing. I don't want to get anywhere near that, if I'm being completely honest. That,
Good thing we're not ring performers.
yeah!
Yeah. The rest of the roster have fun, though. Honestly, though, oh, that's such a great match. And I love that Xerxes' challenge and probably the rest of Doom's is just going to be answered so fervently. Because, again, you're just putting up the best of the best against each other. And you're basically only going to get champions out of a situation like that. Whether in the near future or in the far future.
As well as, like, I understand that Xerxes was a little upset about that loss, but here's the thing, though. Rico Rose put up a very valiant effort, and if I remember correctly, he did not, like, try to do any kind of underhanded tactics or anything whatsoever. So, hopefully, this loss doesn't trigger the first rule, thou shalt not mess with Doom. And, well, if you mess with Doom, if you break the rule, you get the big forms. You get the good stuff. You don't want that. Trust me. I've seen it happen. Not good. Anyway, but hopefully we don't. Hopefully it doesn't escalate further. But until then, we will have to check on Friday. But speaking of escalating situations, we have we go back down to the ring to hear some words from one suicidal, homicidal Gemini.
Oh, Apex, once again missing the point completely. Now why would you go and be so mean to my tag team partner? Samuel Manatee has done nothing to you except provide beautiful meals for everyone in MNW Warzone and Flashbang. So I had to ask myself, why would you try to send such a terrible message? Is it maybe because I've gotten under your skin? Is that why you think attacking the Outlaws on Warzone is going to bring you some kind of match or revenge against me? You forget I'm in the driver's seat, little pets. Not you. You're looking for a modicum of revenge. I think I might have an idea. You're going to have to give me some time to work out the particulars. If you could just leave me be for, say, the next week or so, maybe on Friday night you'll get a proposal from my side, if you will. A Multiverse proposal. Now, Mizuki, I expect you to keep your little bull friends in line. I expect you to tug on the leash of your little phoenix and keep your shark where he belongs, underwater and away from the wrestling ring. Because if they come after me, you won't have your revenge, Mizuki. All you'll have is the broken, beaten carcass of a husband that you can enjoy on my behalf. But don't worry, it will be worth the wait. I promise you. I mean, I know you've wanted to prove yourself, Mizuki. What with all the backlash you've had to face and all of the trials and tribulations. Oh, it's so sad. I simply call it karma. I'll see you next week.
Well, that's not.
So, Suicide Gemini has a proposal to give out tomorrow on Flashbang. But he is going to have a protection clause so he doesn't get attacked until then. We are about 24 hours away, so anything's still possible. Also, Squintobean, thank you for gifting a sub to Shinobi233. Shinobi233, hope you enjoy the emotes and the ad-free experience here on the channel. So Faye, what do you think? What kind of possible match do you think that Gemini is going to be proposing?
If I had a guess, knowing him, I don't know how his relationship with the Outlaws is. I mean, they're definitely like friends or coworkers. I'm just not as familiar with the history. If I were to bet anything, probably Extreme Rules, so he can do to Apex what he did to Nero.
That sounds about right. But like, so the history about that one goes. So when the Outlaws were on Flashbang, they were trying to get feelers out for any potential new members of their duo, trying to turn it into a trio. Gemini was the one that kind of fit their bill a bit more, but before they made it official, the Outlaws got kicked right on out of Flashbang. They've been in cahoots ever since. I mean, hell, Gemini's even hired CJR Killer to run over not only the PM Ghost, but also Nero Napier. So, friends and also avid employer. Not avid, frequent employer of the Outlaws. That's about it, now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, hopefully we're gonna get some answers tomorrow, or on Flashbang's next airings, because Multiverse is, I mean, we've only got like 3 weeks, so, hopefully this all gets like squared away and settled, because I have a feeling, if something's not done soon, this is just gonna go on and on for the next several years, or, it's gonna get a lot bloodier.
Oh, God. Full-out war, total war. No thank you. That's a lot of pissed-off anthropomorphic competitors and a very excited, sadistic masochist. Or is he a masochistic sadist? I can never tell. Oh, also, yeah, and also let's not forget that CJR Killer also stole DeLuna's the 12 El Chavos' mask. Yeah. Ugh. There's been a lot with the Outlaws and Flashbang. Half the reason why they should still be banned to this day. But until then, once again, still talking about escalation. We have a match here. Starting with the Bulldog, Grant Martin being led down to the ring with DeLuna 13th of his name, going up against Lionel Matrix, being led down to the ring by Hey Mr. Rabbit. And Lionel Matrix, one of the fastest rising stars that Flashbang has, and Grant Martin, one of the he's a Flashbang original. Weirdly enough, like one of the first feuds in Flashbang was actually Shere Khan versus Grant Martin, and it's mostly because of their iconography. Shere Khan, King of the Jungle, you know, big cat person, and then the Bulldog Grant Martin. Funny enough, during the first inaugural, like to crown the inaugural tag team, Grant Martin was like, "Hey, can I team up with my stick, like that, the Mr. Stick that he carries to the ring?" Yeah, he tried to do that, and the brass just looked at him and went, "No."
That's oh, that's that pulls a certain kind of charisma to be able to pull something like that off. But yeah, those early days must have just been a special kind of crazy because
Oh,
there
God, yes.
weren't really as many rules back then for this sort of thing. It was just trying to get a baseline and just kind of just set a precedent. It isn't always a bad thing.
Well, think about it. Think of it like this: the first wave of Flashbang competitors, you can consider the older siblings of Flashbang. They're the reason the rules exist.
Yep. For better or for worse. I'm sure. I'm sure someone did something that definitely to cause the magic rules to be put in place and not do that in the ring. Something like like that. It causes groups like APS to be made and whatnot. I'd agree. God, just Matrix over there brutalizing Grant Martin.
And going for a count, gets popped up at 2.
And Matrix can't believe it. And a big drop kick.
And once again, just
Jeering at him to get up. Although vicious is a language that I believe Matrix knows very well, considering his actions in the past couple of months. At least definitely up against Spectre Sonata. He definitely proves he's really not afraid to bring a little bit more bite to his strikes. Ouch, though. The language is Italian. I'm sure Victor Vicious would be glad to correct us on that.
yeah, that's a whole deal. And then I'm not sure if it's just Grant Martin kind of letting his anger get the better of him, or him still trying to channel in some of that leftover frustration from earlier on in the night, or maybe Shere Khan hit him a lot harder than we gave him credit for.
Potentially. I mean, he was technically in action. It wasn't supposed to be a match or anything. It was just a quick brawl. But someone like Khan is very adept to be able to, get in a couple strikes where it hurts to kind of try to get his point across. And Matrix is definitely someone who can more than take advantage. And that's blood split open. And there's the crimson mask that's going down his face.
And busted open and down for a 3 count. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Lionel Matrix, and he's getting right out of Dodge on that one. Martin is pissed. And I don't blame him. Oh god, so not a great spot for him going into Multivania here in just 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, in 3 weeks' time on July the 9th is night 1 of the biggest show that we can produce, Multivania. Get your schedules, get everything scheduled now. But not great for Grant Martin going into it, especially God, he did not look happy whatsoever, to say the least. But going into the next match here, this one has Multivania implications as well. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mama Draco herself representing Dungeons and Destinies going up against the Amazon Taigiri, representing the Troll Train. Also the Soul Train as well. If Taigiri wins this match, that is win number 4 for the Troll Train. And Johan goes on to be put into the showcase match to fight to see who is the number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. And early on here, Taigiri is... she at a certain point, she just kind of gets into like this house of fire and starts just absolutely whooping on Moira. And Moira, like, the Troll Train and Dungeons and Destinies have a pretty good relationship, but they definitely see it challenging, and they will not take a fall. They will definitely fight with all of their hearts and all of their moxie.
Well, it's in the name of the faction, just the Troll Train, and Taigiri, she came out essentially full steam, knowing what's on the line. Again, as we've been saying for the past several weeks, a title shot, and the Troll Train have definitely been, they're not going to stop until they believe they're completely 100% ready for it. But to have just a match like this thrown together so last minute, I could just tell how excited Taigiri was when she came out. And Moira is an impressively fierce competitor, so this is absolutely a worthy challenge, regardless of win or loss.
I mean, as fierce as a celestial dragon can be, but also...
Amazon!
BAM!
Ouch! Damn,
yeah,
exactly as you've been saying.
Like, once again, Moira is about as fierce as a celestial dragon could be, but the freaking ferociousness that Taigiri brings to the ring, also the creativity of how she applies her strikes. Ooh, trying to go in for that Stargazer, but gets dodged and countered into a crucifix pin. Looks like she's setting up for... Looks like it's action surge. No, it's... See right there. I thought that her foot was on the rope on that one, but she kicked out anyway. Nice little corkscrew. But yeah, like we said, like this match lasted a good 15 minutes. Super kicks being thrown back and forth. Strike after strike. Throw after throw. God, this had to be the most dead even match I have ever seen on Flashbang.
And the editing, I am so upset that you just have to cut everything out. This is just such a classic match. These women went at it for so long. Just, we cannot understate how vicious, how just back and forth, how dead even they were, just in full glory, essentially, right in front of us. And because it was the last match, it was just so much more intense, I feel. Just look at her. There's like, both of them are pushing themselves to the absolute most, and I love to see it.
For sure. Like, I mean, your husband's Multivania aspirations hang on you winning this match. And Moira pretty much aiming to be a spoiler of this streak. Ooh, looked like she was trying to go in for a kick, but Moira kind of countered with a back fist. And that back fist is what seals the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner is Moira Draco. The Troll Train's streak has ended, and they are back down 2-0. Unfortunately, as of this moment, it appears as though Johan's not in that showcase match, and that's unfortunate, but that's just kind of how it is. We have had reports saying that the entirety, Spectre Sonata and also the Troll Train in general, are upset, but they're not but they kind of understand. What this means for them in the future, who knows? We will only have to speculate on speculate coming tomorrow or whenever Flashbang airs. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if like a one last ditch effort came about where like I don't know, say Johan was added into that match, but he has to get 5 eliminations. That or the entirety of the card is Spectre Sonata, Tigeri, and Tiki the Troll have to get a win just for Johan to be in that main event. Which, not gonna lie, that would be very stressful.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that again tonight, just after seeing that on screen, man. It was just so good.
It was a fantastic match, and once it gets back up on YouTube, which I completely forgot. No, actually, no, I'll take care of that later. Anyway, but yeah, once it gets back up on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, I highly recommend you go and watch that match again. It was fantastic, and oh my god, just knowing that someone's very goals are hanging in the balance only make it better. But we will see what comes of that. Hopefully tomorrow during Flashbang. But until then, we have another bit of we have a grudge match to get into. We have representing the Abyssal Void, the Cleaver, being led down to the ring by Lord V. And then his opponent is the juicy one, the Citric King, being led down to the ring by his Death Juice partner, Helix Sucks.
And here we go. Citric out of the corner with a chop.
Yeah. Helix was fighting Lord V last week to get this shot at the... So Citric can get this shot at the Cleaver. And here we are in this match, and freaking Citric is just... Man, there's a lot of the faces in Flashbang are kind of just like trying to fight with a house, like a house of fire, you know?
Another headbutt by the orange. Cleaver sent into the corner and a shoulder check by Citric.
Citric. And I will admit though, I'm actually very surprised. Citric King has not been around since last year's Multivania, and yet he has had like little to no ring rust. I definitely think that he's been using that this year to just train and make himself better than what he was. Ooh, nice Enziguri. Rico Rose kind of brings up a good point about the Mjolnir's, about the troll train, but we'll get into that at a later time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much going on that we didn't, but it was almost kind of like the because this has also been going on for months. The Citric King versus Citric King. And whatever hand Abyssal Void seems to have in all of this, it's just, I won't say we forgot, it's just, there's so much leading up towards Multivania, and we haven't seen Citric King and Citric King face off properly yet.
We have seen them in the same room. That's the good news.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a matter of, so who's the doppelganger, and who is who's the one actually behind all of it? Because there's so much, and this is going to affect the interdimensional title scene as well.
For sure, and I mean, I think if Citric King wins, he actually does get the match against his other. I guess you could say the other Citric. So we'll have a King versus Kane match sometime in the future. Not sure if that's going to be at Multivania or if that's going to be this coming Friday. I mean, who knows? We have a lot to do for the next 3 weeks. Hell, we got 2 shows to do before then. 3 shows. We have 3 shows to do before then. Apologies. Ooh, please clap in a hip toss. Looks like he's calling for that choke slam. Got him by the goozle. And Citra King breaks on out of it. Surprised he didn't do a freaking DDT to him there. And it looks like he's going for the Sunny DDT. Going for that cover. 1, 2. Kicking out at 2. Yep, and looks like he's setting him up. Got him by the neck. Got him in the juicer. And the cleaver taps out. As this, damn it, as the chat says, Vitamin, see you later. Fucking. So Citra King is going to be taking on the Citra Kane later on in the future, ladies and gentlemen. And oh man, that's a lot of pulp. That's a lot of pulp, pummeling pulp coming at you.
Do you think if we put him in a box and shake it, it'll be like extra pulp from the store?
I'm just saying we should concentrate on this match. Fuck.
Oh, damn. This is just gonna get worse over the next few weeks. Hopefully we do get our conclusion soon, though, because, oh boy, it's gonna get real juicy in here once these two go at each other. I wonder what's gonna be under. Do you think Citra King's gonna be able to finally? And I hate to say it. Do you think he's gonna peel off the mask to see what or who is really under there?
Man, we are really just toting the line of these puns, aren't we?
Yeah. And, oh no, we got some more up on social media, but before we get too distracted,
No, I know how much you want to read it. Go for it.
Yeah, no, I need to resist. What do we have next, Joe?
Well, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we got some words from the good doctor himself. We hear from Dr. Victor Vladimir Caliban.
Oh, my dear Nitzig, did I hear you correctly? You want an opportunity at the World Champion. My, how the cartel loves their infighting. You know, I was thinking to myself that maybe, Nitzig, you're on the right path, actually. You see, Nitzig, I was thinking about my own big green monster in the House of Caliban, and I was thinking who better to face Victor Vicious than someone he's never faced before. And while you're correct, you have never faced him before for the world title, neither has my creation. The man who is undefeated at Multiverse. So, if we're going to have an 8-man showcase match, how could you leave out the most dominant force on the show? So I'll tell you what, Nitzig, I have a proposal for you. If you believe you are the war boss, the biggest and baddest on Flashbang, how about, Mr. Lawson, with your approval, we make sure that Nitzig and the creation have a slot in that 8-man showcase match. And then we will truly get to see who is worthy to face Victor Vicious. Because if you can survive 8 other competitors, or rather 7 other competitors, then I would say you earned an opportunity to go one-on-one with the champion in the main event of Multivania. But we all know Victor wants no part of House Caliban. Victor wants no part of the creation, because while we are a well-oiled machine, his cartel is falling apart. We're watching the divorce court of the Kales live and in living color before our very eyes. Nitzig challenging his own leader to a world title match. My dear Victor, rather than make bold claims about Spike, who you have not cleanly defeated, perhaps you should get your house in order before you throw stones at mine. So I wish you the best of luck, whoever happens to be in this showcase. The creation will be waiting.
Oh god, where to start with this one? So, not only is Spike, not only is Nitzik Gunkgobla going to be in this showcase to see who's going to be the number one contender to take on Victor Vicious at the main event of night, I believe it's going to be night 1 of Multivania, one of those nights. But we're also going to see the creation, Christopher Caliban, in that match. 3 big and heavy hitting names are in that showcase match, and I am, oh god, who's going to be the other 5?
Oh no! It excites the brain absolutely. There's just so much going on here, especially on the House of Caliban side, because as far as they're concerned, Victor Vicious took the side of Dr. Grimm up in their more recent attempts to try to get control over the device. Although that's more of a tale for Warzone, you could say. But my God, I don't know if the stakes. Actually, I should not say that I shouldn't say that the stakes can't get higher, because I'm positive, at least as far as Flashbang's concerned, Joe. At least one of the wrestlers over here, if not lost, and can throw in something to spice it, like just a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Cartel and the House of Caliban have been bitter rivals against each other for the better part of 2 years. I mean, they were in the one and only Survivor Series match back in, I want to say, 2020. And the Cartel came up strong on that one after House Caliban revealed their new member, Donkey Kong. But still, though, that it's kind of a nice contrast to where they were to how they are now. Back then, it was because like now the Cartel's essentially splintered itself, and the House of Caliban are stronger than ever as a team. I mean, hell, Time Bandits of House Caliban are the tag team champions. I mean, if that doesn't say anything, I don't know what does. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is your main event. Artemis is going to be taking on Kath Gina, the Fey Queen. If Artemis loses, not only is Graven Allen, the Chocolate Zombie, the Black Prince, Jack Andrews, but the Omni Slayer, Artemis's teacher, Jagger Blackthorn, not only are their Multivania dreams squashed, but also Artemis's as well. And here we see Artemis coming down to the ring. You gotta think that his nerves have gotta be shot up at this point. And here's his opponent with the Fey fuckery robe in tow, Kath Gina, the Fey Queen. And I swear, either competitor, I mean, Artemis is gonna be tough for Kath Gina to go up against. Kath Gina is a tough competitor in her own right for Artemis to go up against. This has got to be one of the, much like with Moira and Tigeri, this has got to be one of the most even matches I have ever seen, with some of the highest stakes.
And as we covered in, I believe it was about 2 weeks ago now, actually, how Artemis flat out declared that he didn't, without Jagger, without Jack Andrews and several other members of the roster just not now disqualified from Multivania, he wasn't really that interested in it. So he just wanted to just put it up on the line too. Might as well. It's kind of like his own form of, I suppose, not a walkout or not even really a protest, just kind of a declaration. Like, the show is worse off without me there at the pay-per-view.
I mean, for sure. I mean, it's not just being on the card for a pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. Multivania has the most eyes that the promotion has ever seen. It has arguably some of the, if not the best results that we would ever get. I mean, hell, we've had multiple Nexus being won because they were at Multivania. Like, it just adds to someone's career for the win. I mean, hell, Empire being dismissed, Ginger Boy losing his title at the first Multivania that Flashbang was able to be in. The list goes on and on. We got a tweet out from Victor Vicious. Beat your family and ripped off your house off its foundation or through your spare part. Wow, that's through your child through a table. Man, Victor's spicy tonight. Oh yeah, did we forget that this was a no DQ match? I've completely forgot to mention that, didn't I?
Yep, so anything is on the table,
Yep,
meaning
anything goes.
fuckeries abound.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Gina kind of restrained herself from doing any more kind of fey fuckery. Ooh, Winter's Kiss DDT onto the padding there. Like, she had, like, I've seen this lady in action. She's, like, the term Ice Queen is kind of, yeah, Winter's Kiss DDT onto the mat once more. Yeah, the term Ice Queen is an understatement. This lady is, this lady's ice cold, no mistakes. Val Kilmer wishes he was this woman. And yes, I just referenced Top Gun. There's like Katjina's got her feet up on the ropes, and the ref didn't. Well, actually, he probably saw it, but once again, no disqualifications, so he didn't really care. It's not that he didn't care. It's technically part of the rules, technically legal, and your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Katjina, the Fey Queen.
Are you kidding me?
So, once again, that's 4 Multivania hopes gone and dusted. Or, oh my God, why do you do this to me, Faye? I swear to God. or as you would say, put on ice. I'm glaring at you right now.
Oh, you're just jealous you don't have this pot roast.
I mean, do you have any? I could go for some pot roast.
Yeah, sure, hang on. I can get you a bowl in between breaks here, but we've got...
Hell yeah.
Oh, we got so much to get to. We have Warzone later in the night as well.
For sure, we have a call out like right after this, but until then, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Flashbang moment of the week, and I'm going to say this. I got superseded on this decision to pick this moment. I wanted to go with the main event, but I was convinced otherwise by multiple sources, mostly because of one thing and one thing only: the chat engagement for this match, and the result of it was the highest out of the entirety of the show. So that is pretty much that was pretty much the reasoning. And honestly speaking, I did, like, once again, I wanted to go with the main event. But ladies and gentlemen, your Flashbang moment of the week.
Single leg drop kick. And oh, look at the super kick, no! Out of nowhere! She got her! 2! Oh! My Lord in heaven! Jawbreaker! Oh, the super kick! Return to sender! 1, 2, no! This is insane! Up over the top rope. Counter. Back in we go. Off the ropes. And there's the knee. Slap to the face. And a snap suplex. Into the cover. Will this be enough? 2! Finally! Moira broke the streak! Damn it!
Here's your winner, Moira Draco! Wow!
Moira Draco winning, and thus sending the Troll Train back down to 0 wins on their streak. That is your moment of the week. And honestly speaking, that was one person's possible Multivania goal coming true. And I still argued that was the main event was still 4 people's is kind of being diminished. Because, I mean, hell, Troll Train can still get on the card. That's the thing. They can still somehow get on the card in some way, shape, or form. But, once again, when we were going over, and, I mean, hell, even Robbie called in and said, hey, this is what we need to go with. I was like, okay. So, yeah. When Robbie Slick actually calls in and says something, you definitely need to hear him out. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, that was Friday Night Flashbang in the books. And we will go on ahead and get into our in-between segment before getting into MNW Warzone. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the call-out with Travis.
Hello there, my name is Travis, and welcome back to the Callout. Tonight, I have myself the Champions Calls. That's right, for the next little while, the Callout is going to be interviewing the champions you're going to be seeing in Multivania, and I thought I would start with the big man himself from the Flashbang side. He is Victor Vicious. How you doing tonight, champ?
Not too bad. A little sore still from that match, but thanks for asking, Carl.
You had a nail-biter of a match against Spike, and it ended with a draw, allowing you, the champion, to keep his belt. So, how are you feeling about that last match?
Wait a minute. Allowing me to keep my belt? Look here, Steven. I did everything I needed to do to keep the belt around my waist. There was no stipulation saying I had to win. I have the champion's advantage because I've earned that advantage. Unlike Spike, who had all the advantages given to him without earning anything. So let's get that straight right now. Yeah, it was a nail-biter of a match, but I knew what I needed to do to get the win. Or the draw, so to speak. Spike, he's had his chance. He's had 2. He can't beat me. So it's time to move on. Capiche?
With Multivania on the doorstep, where do you see the other members of the cartel faring? Do you want to see them go for any of the titles?
What do I expect for the rest of the cartel? Now that's a great question there, Thomas. Well, I know about Nitzig wanting to come after my World Heavyweight title, and I'm all for it. I think it's a good opportunity for him to finally grow as a wrestler. As for Hutch, he still has all that pent-up anger, let's call it, for Kuso and the madness. Hopefully he can get his match at Multivania, but we'll see how that goes. Right now, he's trying to keep a Mando reeled in is the tough part of the job of being the head of the cartel at the moment.
You know, your own strong-arm Nitzing Gunk Gobbler has demanded a match from you not only once, but twice now. What do you say to his call-outs?
Look here, Chuck. That wasn't a call-out. I expect my boys to push themselves to reach for higher goals than what they are. Hutch went for the interdimensional title. I know he didn't want to, but he's more than just a bounty hunter. He's more than just a Mandalorian. He can be something greater. And I see the same with Nitzig Gunk Gobbler. He calls himself a war boss, but he's so much more than every other orc that's come through here. he can be something so much bigger, so much better. And him coming after my title, well, it kind of makes me feel like a proud father right now. To see somebody I've helped cultivate within this company grow and aim for new heights. Now, me being on the opposite end of that, I'm going to do whatever I can to keep my belt. But I'm still proud of what Nexus been able to accomplish here.
Let's talk about the showcase. Who do you want to see in the main showcase match? Who deserves to at least try to be the #1 contender for Multivania?
People I expect to see in the #1 contendership match, and who I think should be the #1 contender. Well, obviously the choice here is I want Nitzig to be the #1 contender. Because like I said before, it'd be a great moment for him, and I'd be really proud of him. As for people I'd like to see in the match, Joseph Kalman's always a good choice. The Cyber Controller has really shown some stuff. Henry Colt. Lawson's kind of kept him off the card, but he's a really good competitor. Helix sucks. Ramoon, Zephyr Tail, Crimson Phoenix, maybe the Minotaurs, who knows. Real disappointed, though, that Jack Andrews, Graven Allen, and Jagger Blackthorn will not be able to attend Multivania, but that's neither here nor there, and that's not really any of my concern. Does that answer your question there, Larry?
Any final words for the call-out?
Final words for the call-out. Well, I'd like to thank you, first of all, for having me on the show, Jeffrey, but there's not much to say. I'm the heavyweight champion. It's gonna stay that way no matter who wins this #1 contendership match. And if it's Spike for a third time, because I'm sure the people will be thrilled about that, I'll just beat him again. It's what I do. It's become a national pastime at this point. Because I'm the best that's ever been. I'm the best around. I'm best in the business today. Because I am the dawn of a new era. This is the cartel's age. And I am your heavyweight champion, Victor Vicious. And as they say, to the victor, go the spoils. I don't even dare you.
Well, everybody, that was your Flashbang World Champion, the Don himself. Maybe it could dawn on him to actually get my name right. And if you want to see Victor Vicious, tune in on Fridays for Friday Night Flashbang at twitch.tv/Edward Bosco. My name is Travis, and thank you from the Callout.
Thank you, Travis, and thank you, Victor, for those words. Hang on one moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're currently having a... Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but we're just going to go right on ahead and get into Warzone. Coming up next, we kind of start the show off with some words from the Conqueror, Semjax.
You all have so many questions for Semjax. Semjax, why do you not cash in your money in the bank briefcase? Semjax, why do you hold on? What are you planning? Oh, I have waited so long. You have to understand, when you are immortal as I am, time doesn't seem as desperate a thing. You know you have all of the time in the world to do what you need to do. And that sometimes delayed gratification is the best gratification. Rest assured, I will eventually use that case, and I will eventually be Multiversal Heavyweight Championship, as is right and proper. So, fear not, there is a plan. There is always a plan. Oh, God. These two have been going back and forth over that briefcase.
We got some good news here, Mega. All right, come on.
Oh, you got a plan. Right, like it's not obvious you're waiting for Multivania to cash in the briefcase. Yeah, big plan, buddy. Yeah, have that Multivania moment. Sure. Yeah, that's clever. That's you are a military genius. Congratulations. So, yeah, how about we put a wrinkle in that plan? Because what plan doesn't fall apart in face of the enemy? Oh, Mega Blitz X, you've had your opportunity against me. You had your shot at the briefcase, and you came up short. So, you don't get another shot. You've had yours. So, go back into the back. Call your friend the Brawl Kaiser. Hold on there, Sam Jax. Who said anything about me? No. You're right. I had my shot. I had my opportunity, and you know what? I forgot I'd have to face the entire bloodline. That's fine. I'll consider that in my next plan. But, Sam Jax, have you ever heard of the term open bounty? What is this insolence? What you say? Open bounty? What? What is somebody putting up a purse? Are you declaring a bounty on me? Oh, I don't think you can afford it. You're a simple superhero. You're not known for being wealthy. Oh no, it's not me. No, there is somebody though. Somebody who's decided you've been well, let's be honest, a little bitch. And so there's a contract on the money in the bank briefcase. And let's just say it's 8 figures. Yeah, 8 figures. And whoever collects the briefcase gets the money and the case. Oh, who would be so foolish as to do that? Who could? The only people that are rich enough don't care. I mean, I don't see Uncle Dunk coming after it. He's got his own concerns with the King's Road to tournament. Your janitor friend is no longer a man of wealth. Who else could it be? Well, you see, that's for me to know and you to try and figure out. Maybe you can find out and appeal to them to take the bounty off. But until then, well, it's open season on Bloodsuckers. So I hope you have everything you need. I hope you have a will, right? I mean, vampires have wills, right? No. It does not matter what you think you do, because I am no mere ruffian. I'm not like the outlaws, or what is his name, the little masked boy in the leather coat. No. I have an entire army. Oh, your army. Yeah, Little Bird told me a lot of them are going to be busy. There's other things coming up. So, you hope that works out for you. But in the meantime, I'm going to be watching you. I'm going to be watching the bloodline, because win or lose, I'm going to make sure you do not perpetrate your evil. And I will be waiting in an elevated place to take you down.
So, Semjax talking about how the plan is coming to fruition, and Mega Blitz coming in and saying there's an open bounty on his head now for that Money in the Bank briefcase. Who's got $10 million laying around?
As far as we know so far, 8 figures. We don't know what kind of currency. We even had Oakley Dunk actually chiming in on Twitter, and he said it wasn't him who put it out. I mean, if you were to believe him. Even Subject mentions he's busy with the King's Road tournament.
Well,
Uncle believes it might have been Ausir, but Ausir's busy with Max.
Here's the thing, though. I would not put it past Ausir or Uncle Dunk to have an insurance policy. Like, I would not... Like, I understand that Uncle is very confident in his... in that he's going to beat Nice Ice later on in the night. But I still would not doubt him if he had, like, some form of, like, insurance policy to get the... like, for, like, a just-in-case kind of situation. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking.
I mean, it could also be someone from Flashbang.
It could.
I can name a couple individuals, but we'll see. I think whoever it is will probably make themselves known, if not right before They think someone's going to close in on the bounty or right before the payoff. We'll see, though, because Subjects has until Multivania, pretty much. He has to cash it in at Multivania, which also means we're going to have to be prepared for a new Money in the Bank winner regardless. So someone's going to have to hold it.
For sure. Because I believe we got to do a Money in the Bank match right after Multivania, since Subjects is kind of hanging on to it till then. I mean, because I think of the moment the match goes, we're that's it. That's Subjects' chance gone and done. But we will see what becomes of that, and also who tries to get the who tries to cash in the bounty. I mean, 8 figures and the mega money in the big bank briefcase. It's excuse me. It's hard not to turn down. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we got a best of 5 series to talk about. Currently up to 1, we have Depth Charge against DJ Milsner. And here we go. Depth Charge coming down to the ring first. Currently at 3 wins over his opponent, the DJ Milsner.
Meanwhile, the man you would actually want with you when you're
and I believe it was Depth Charge that kind of came out and said, "Hey, I'm mostly doing this out of respect for Milsner." Let me try to see if I can pull that up, actually.
Essentially, he was saying that it stops beyond the match itself. I believe he's actually gotten out of record saying he doesn't even like Milsner. It's just to prove that he's better.
I can honestly see that. I mean, hell. Sorry, I was trying to find the exact words that Depth Charge said, and I saw that card for the cabaret. Sorry, I'm just not a fan of pink. Anyway, can't find it. Lovely. But yeah, just trying to prove that you are better than pretty much one of the old guards of MNW. Because, I mean, Milsner's been around since I believe the Lucha Underground days, before MNW became, well, MNW. Teaming up with, fun fact, teaming up with Daver Man before he was then Daver Boy to form the Super Heavenly Beats with, I hate saying this, the Doctor of Almonomics.
I mean, that's been this entire series. That's been their entire history, back and forth, which is why this has been such a great series.
Absolutely, but this match in front of us is just such a testament to how across the multiverse, we have some of the biggest, best talent at just really to be put on display. So I think it's actually sort of an unusual testament to, sure, the respect stops at the, beyond the ring. But inside the ring, oh boy. And Depth Charge has come very, very far, and Milsner still proves he can just put on such a wonderful show for an audience. And so close to Multivania as well.
Extraordinary at regaining and maintaining control in matches. A master of maintaining pace with almost veteran savvy.
And
I think people forget
here
because he was out of focus
for so long. If I remember the entirety of this match correctly, this was mostly Depth Charge going with just dominating this match. I mean, Milsner got a whole lot of offense in, but he was still kind of overwhelmed with what Depth Charge was actually bringing to the table. And here we have, from the top rope, stalling superplex. I'm surprised the ring stood still. I'm surprised the ring held on. Going in for that cover. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and the winner of the best of 5 series, Death Charge. Also, we got a tweet out from Maximilian Thunderthighs. Maybe I have about 12 million laying around. Maybe I decide to put it to use. You never will know. And the good sport that Milsner is shakes the hand of the victor and begins. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, 3-1. Death Charge is the winner. By all accounts, he proved what he set out to do. He proved that he was the better out of the both. Alright, until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get right on ahead and into another match. We got One Chance going up against Cloud9's Ignacio Cervantes, the social outcast himself. We also got a tweet out from Forest the Fortress. Those with money don't always flaunt it. I will take your word on that, Mr. Taxman. I will take your word on that all day.
Again, I'm sure whoever it is going to reveal themselves in time, or not.
Well,
For all we know, it could be the brass sponsoring it. Mega Blitz knows, but he's not going to say. But anyways, back to this match. Jeez, I was just so happy to see both of these men come out and just pretty much just show everything that they've been holding back, because we haven't seen a whole lot of them in the past couple weeks.
Well, we've seen a lot of Ignacio, but we haven't really seen that much of One Chance. Last we saw him was like a couple weeks ago during the Get Off the Schneid match. Ignacio has pretty much been there every week, mostly trying to get heads or tails of what Defunct has been trying to tell not only himself but also to Sergeant Major Payne. And just lifting him up and just slamming him on down with that reverse suplex. I swear, like, I'm not sure if it's because of who he's working for and like the situations that Defunct's been giving him in, but man, Ignacio's been like, now that I'm thinking about it, Ignacio's been going up against a bunch of like really like experienced and seasoned competitors, whereas I think One Chance is kind of like, well, on his level sounds negative. In the same kind of position that Ignacio is like kind of what I want to say. Man, there's nothing really, no easy way to say it. They're both not really doing all that well. And, a solo match like this is definitely what both of these guys needed. A chance to prove what they got without having to put their heads on a swivel. Yes, thank you, Robot. Both are trying to reestablish themselves on the card. Thank you. That's a much nicer way to say it. I don't know what I was doing. Ooh, flipping senton from the outside. Jeez, Ignacio, where have you been hiding that one? Just staring into One Chance's eyes. Looks like he was trying to go in for a cover, but he knew that One was about to get right back on up. Oh yeah, also later on in the night we're going to be seeing the Grand Master of Cloud9, Defunct, going up against Dr. Grimm for the device. If I remember correctly, Defunct's career's on the line on that one.
No, absolutely. He wants to prove himself as in the ways of the Great Bull. So depending on the outcome of that match, that'll leave the rest of Cloud9 and essentially just floating around. They're gonna have to maybe come up with a contingency plan.
I mean, with how Cloud9's been acting lately, I think that they're not gonna really mind if Defunct goes away, which, personally speaking, I would mind. Oh, as I was talking, Ignacio looks like we have Ignacio picking up the victory. So yeah, reveling in probably one of his. I don't think this is his first win. We'll have to double check with Carla and Miguel. But this has got to be like one of the biggest wins that he's actually had so far. And he shakes the hand of Juan Chance. Respect is given and respect is had between them both. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Ignacio Cervantes. Ignacio's beaten Gunnar Birch. Thank you. Good. That is good to know. I didn't think that he was winless this entire time. We just had to double check. Anyway, so yeah, big win for Ignacio. Faye, what'd you think of the match?
Oh boy. I kind of wish we had more time to let them go back and forth at each other. And I'm surprised that they were fairly amiable towards the end, though. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll see them go head to head later in the future. Maybe Ignacio. Oh, I mean, they're both sort of they're both of the lucha variety, aren't they? So Ignacio might be able to, if Cloud9's not working out, maybe he could look about some tag teaming or some trios tag teaming. Because we might be coming into a new age of new teams on Warzone as far as things are concerned, I think.
That actually, you definitely just put a question. You made me think. If Defunct does lose and we don't have any more Defunct in Warzone, and we got a raid from Shadow Dancer Bob with a party of 13. Hello, Raiders. Hope you enjoy your Shield of Nord. Fuck off, Cryptic. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the water where the water tastes like wine. We have just gotten into Juan Chance versus Ignacio Cervantes, and we're about to go into our next segment. So, so overall, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go right on ahead and get... So, the question I was about to ask, actually. So, say Defunct is not going to be in Warzone anymore. Would Ignacio and Sergeant Major Payne stay together as a team, and would they bring in Juan Chance?
We're going to have to see. Maybe we can get a comment on from one of these gentlemen in the future. But... we'll see. There's plenty of stuff going on, but we don't want to take too much away from everything leading up to Multiverse. Speaking of,
we're going to go right on ahead and back into the ring to hear from one part of Cloud9. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hear from Sergeant Major Payne.
All right, do you guys see it now? Do you see it, Defunct? Do the rest of you see it? We don't suck. We're great. We're goddamn awesome. When we're not being paraded around next to a big blue idiot who doesn't know anything. All right? But I'm here because I want my shot. All right? I want my chance to prove that I could kick anyone back there's ass. So I've been thinking, I think after all of this ridiculousness, had a few drinks, and I need a reset. And there's one way to get a good reset for a guy like me, and that's boot camp. sweat on your brow, pain in your arms and legs, nothing but focus. And where am I gonna get training like that? Where can I find a group full of people willing to beat the absolute crap out of me? Well, where do I work? Oh yeah, that's right, a wrestling company. Not a company about tranquility or the Great Bull or whatever any of that is. So I'm going to issue a little challenge here today to all of you, any one of you, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how infernal, no matter how hairy, no matter how holy. This is Sergeant Major Payne's Boot Camp Open Challenge. To any one of you who wants a chance, get it? All right, no, well, come out here and just try. Just try to take down Sergeant Major Payne and see what happens. Feel the pain that I will bring down upon you, and hey, maybe help me out with that little reset I got going on.
Sergeant Major Payne calling out for an open challenge. The Sergeant's Boot Camp Challenge. Now, I know that anytime an open challenge gets made, Vaporwave is usually there, but this is Warzone, so Faye, who do you think is going to answer the call?
Oh boy. I'd like to see maybe Locken go after Payne.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
because he's around. And I don't know how much he's going to be keeping an eye on Nice Ice and the King's Road tournament, but he's, well, with the way things are, they already have plenty of history, and maybe there's a couple things they might want to settle. But we'll see. It's really up to Sergeant Major Payne, his own direction, as it were. Because depending on, that match, well, hopefully he's not going to be without a wealth of challenges in front of him. If there is anything you can say of the man, he is very disciplined, especially for himself. So I think we're going to see this for quite a bit.
We are. The unknown soldier is very well versed in his army training and whatnot. So discipline is definitely going to be one of those traits that he keeps like really high up there outside of, I guess, presentation. There's a lot of other stuff, but let's just say the bulk of the army knowledge I have comes from Marines, and those opinions are very skewed, to say the least. But coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we got a showcase of sorts, not a traditional showcase, mind you. This is a tag team match that's showing off some of the tag team contenders that we will be having for the tag team championships. Here we have Wonderball representing High Voltage. Him and his partner Leonid Sanchez. We have Mr. Enigma of Mystery Inc. representing his partner Papusa Monkey. Later on for the next week. Going up against Fly Boy Bell representing the Three Kings. His partner would be Strongman Bell. But for now, his partner is fucking Gorm. Representing the Conquest Bloodline, with Gorm's partner in that showcase going to be Carnival.
In the wonderful words of Michael Manti over on Warzone, oh shit, it's Gorm. That's pretty much how you can sum this up. Oh my god.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Just by looking at the man, by God, he's an absolute unit. And then actually seeing him in the ring, he is an absolute monster.
Yep. So there's a little bit of pressure on to maybe try to get some hits in on Flyboy. Flyboy try to pull away before Gorm rushes in. But even then, that's a bit of a tall task because we've seen Gorm throw himself across the ring to knock someone down. His training with the Conquest Bloodline will speak for itself. Although Flyboy himself is not to be left out as a member of the Three Kings, and just overall a very technical, just a very agile wrestler. This is going to give Wonderball quite a hard time. And thankfully, he's got a very interesting partner in Enigma, who is also very tactically minded, although a bit more mysterious tag team partner. This must be a little bit it's odd seeing this sort of lineup with each other. I mean, what other situation other than the Multivania lead up can you imagine Flyboy Bell and fucking Gorm on the same side? This is just whole levels of uncanny.
Well, it's also like uncanny for like Wonderball teaming up with Mr. Enigma. Granted, both of those competitors are submission specialists, whereas Wonderball kind of focuses more on the choking aspect of submissions, where Enigma here being tagged in focuses more on leg-based stuff, trying to trap the legs and making their opponent tap out that way. Also, but here's the main tactic they're going up against. While being distracted by Gorm, they're gonna have the zippiest, quickest, most agile individual on the Warzone roster, and Flyboy Bell, just running up and down the ring as if gravity doesn't freaking obey him. Sorry, as if he is, as if ignoring the laws of gravity itself, like kicking your head in. And it's a tough competition on both sides of it, because last I checked, Gorm doesn't really have a good track record with leg-based submissions. And Flyboy doesn't really do well with getting choked out.
No, and it's again because of the sort of the last minute lineup we got on either side. It's very unusual, and so maybe some first instincts of how they might tag in or help their teammate might not be as obvious as we see over here. Enigma just again going to work on the legs over here, wrench him
wrapping Gorm's legs in a figure 4 around the ring post. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about when I say Gorm's doesn't really have the best of luck, because he keeps getting trapped into situations like that.
Oh God!
Flying Hurricane Rana from the top rope.
I swear, Enigma must be picking up a couple tricks as well from the Three Kings. Just his own tendency to go to the top rope is not many wrestlers have the balls to just do that up against Gorm down there, as we see in the left corner. Although Gorm, you have to remember, is a force of his own nature, just sheer ferocity.
Unstoppable force, more or less, but yes.
Yep, and there he goes, just putting some work back on Enigma, paying him back for wrenching on his legs like that.
For sure. I mean, and Enigma was playing it smart. Enigma was actually trying to not only go for the legs, but he was also trying to make sure that he keeps the big man off of his feet. But the problem is that Gorm's overwhelming power is a little, well, overwhelming. And here we have to the top. Looks like he was... Oh, God, from the top rope, a back elbow.
And here he goes again.
La Estrella. Going for, looks like he was trying to get himself situated before going in for that pin. Ooh, looks like Gorm was about to intercept, but Wonderball catches it immediately, breaking up the pin, and then a Hurricane Rana for his troubles. That was a mouthful.
No, it's like you were saying, though, Flyboy is just zipping around the ring, like, completely, I mean, Gorm's pretty fast, but he's not Flyboy fast, so it's working out surprisingly well to their advantage. And here we go again with the pin.
2, 3. The second La Estrella, and the 3 count. Your winners are Flyboy Bell and Gorm. Which... now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of ironic, because Flyboy typically goes after the biggest man in the room if he's ever in a match.
That is very true, actually.
And here he is teamed with the biggest man in the room.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't think there's really anyone else in, like, Gorm's size class, not on, like, the Warzone side of things, I think.
Cat.
Yeah, other than Cat, but I think, he's, I think he's unavailable for the near future.
Yeah, he's a little busy soaking in the sun.
He's a little victimized right now. But yeah, no, Gorm's up there. I want to say on Flashbang, if I'm right, I think he's like in the same like size as like Lord V, Cleaver, and Talos Sid.
Ooh, yeah,
I think,
Talos.
yeah, Talos. That's a big boy right
That's
there.
a big one.
Oh my god. It would kill to see me see either, if not Gorm going up against a Talos, just something like Flyboy going after one of the bots, but that's just a dream, unfortunately. But that was very interesting seeing those two react with each other towards the end there, and I'm glad Gorm didn't try anything.
I'm
That
glad
would have made this a
Flyboy
lot more
didn't.
complicated.
I'm
I
glad
didn't even
Flyboy
see
didn't
him,
try
like,
anything.
Yeah, I mean,
He would
yeah.
have too. Like he
yeah,
would have been
he
like,
would have. He would
like-
not hesitate. I was
like-
surprised when he went top ring or top rope in the corner that he didn't just turn 90 degrees and went fluid Gorm. You know.
like I'm just like, even after the match, when they were shaking hands, I'm surprised Flyboy didn't just look at him and just give him a bell ringer right there. Granted, yes, that would have pissed off Gorm, and you don't piss off Gorm. That man is an actual fucking monster. He will destroy you. But knowing Flyboy, he tried anyway. He's a madman, you see.
Well, I mean, when you work with the Mad Legend, gee, I'm sure you'd. I'm sure you'd be unafraid to pick up at least a couple tendencies.
Well, yeah.
Although.
Cero miedo, no fear.
Yep. But I hope to see a little bit more from this in the future. That's gonna be definitely one to remember. But what do we got next?
Well, for sure. I mean, coming up on Saturday, we're gonna have that tag team title contention match between those four teams. So look forward to that. But speaking of the Mad Lad, we're going to go right back down to the ring to hear from the Mad Lad of London himself, Ginger Boy.
There's been a lot of chatter coming over from the sister show, hasn't there? There's been quite a bit. So, flashbang forever. Aye, Graven? You seem to have plenty to say. Plenty of beautiful, flowery, choice words. But you've also had plenty of chances to capitalize. Speaking of capitalizing, you want to do it now? Multiverse, you want the chance at Ginger Boy. So, you want to prove that you're flashbang forever. You want to prove that you're the one. You want a shot at the Mad Lad of London. I suppose we never really did get the contest we wanted. Now, did we? And I also suppose there's only one thing we can do about it, brass willing. Graven, you want to fight? You want a shot at me? You want a spectacle? Well, that's something you have to earn. So come over here and make a spectacle. Make one. But be careful. If you fly too close to the sun, and your favorite zombie might just not rise up again. Because I'm gonna give my all as per the usual. And if you think that's gonna be any less than what it takes to take the chocolate zombie down, then you're simply an idiot. See you there, Graven.
Despite Graven's current situation over on Flashbang, Ginger Boy is still trying to egg on the Chocolate Zombie into a Multivania match. I'm kind of hoping that Graven's situation gets resolved because, I'm going to be a little selfish in saying this. I want that match. I want to see that match. That match is going to be like absolutely bonkers.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if if Graydon weren't somehow goaded over into doing the match on Warzone. But oh god, I'd love to see that on at Multivania. But we're gonna just have to hope and pray. Um, I don't doubt that Graven would accept were he able. It's just there's so much going on right now.
Yeah, because like it's becoming a more complicated situation by the day for not only the Chocolate Zombie but also Jack Andrews, Jagger Blackthorn, and officially Artemis as well.
Yeah, the Omni Slayers are in a little bit of a tough pinch, which is a fucking shame because of their performances overall in the past year have been wonderful ever since like the last Multivania, and there's the trios tag tournament as well where they came out pretty strong as well. Although they were beaten out by Triple A in the end, but we're gonna see more of them in the future. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, we're gonna see who's gonna be facing Triple A at Multivania for those trios titles as well later on in the night. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bit of a backstage. We got a little something backstage going on. We had McMorgan confronts Earl King West after McMorgan's loss to the Fey King. And yep, this is about as good as it usually gets, and a spine buster to start out. Earl King would probably argue that he's defending himself in this scenario.
McMorgan has no one watching out for him.
Whereas McMorgan, he's one could argue that he was the aggressor in this, but
I mean, Earl King West has gone out there and he's declared, "Hey, I'm going to ruin your life, McMorgan, just because I can and because I think it will be fun." And McMorgan's he is very aware of the Fae's their trickery and whatnot. We could say, and he has now resworn a clan oath, essentially to, I guess, I mean, he doesn't have wings, but to proverbially tear the wings off of this, Earl King.
Right, for sure. I mean, going out of his way to mess with just one person is not the craziest thing.
I mean, when you're bored and you live, I don't know, thousands of years, tens, hundreds of thousands of years, you probably just get bored with most people, I can imagine. So maybe this is just his way of, I mean, it feels so petty and just like, it's a very Faye thing to do, but McMorgan's just not gonna have any of it, and he's unafraid to just brawl it out, whether it's in the locker room, whether it's out on stage.
Are any of us going to be okay? Let's focus right now on Earl King
West
going after McMorgan again. You never know.
And although
McDonald could be hiding around any corner.
Here's the crazy thing: how much of this oath that McMorgan has taken, how much of that is gonna ultimately going to kind of cost him in the end, outside of the obvious him poking out his own eye. Like,
you're very right on that, Joe. Oh God. Although speaking of taking people out,
powerbomb
out right into the locker.
To the locker.
Although you do have a point, though, Joe, because when I look at Earl King West, I see a man who would probably treat people like you would treat like a fly or like an insect, like just pinned to some corkboard. Like, he seems like Earl King West seems like very much like the type to slowly pull off the legs, just like in a psychotic, sadistic sort of way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and he can do that over the course of like 10 years, hundreds of years, like however long it'll take. He's not afraid of waiting.
Yeah, he's not like. Of course, I mean, it's like you said. He's a Fae related individual. He lives for thousands of years, and in those thousands of years, that's all you kind of have is patience. just waiting for everything to fall through.
And ever since what he did on Flashbang fell apart on him, well, he's been sent over here to Warzone now, and he's just gonna do whatever he wants until people just get sick of him. And I think it's only gonna get worse from here on out. But Morgan has his fair few amount of allies, but we'll see. I think people right now trust Morgan, like as we see right there. He can hold his own. It's just gonna get very troubling when West starts. Well, using more faith fuckery. I'll just say it.
Nah, you're right. You're right, because that's when he gets creative. I've seen what happens once that happens. It gets traumatizing. But until then, we're gonna go right on ahead and get into our next match, ladies and gentlemen. We got the funky one himself, the Grandmaster, the leader of Cloud9, Defunk, challenging for the device against his opponent, representing the Murder Cave, Dr. Grimm. Asshole! Starting off the match, Grimm is kind of just taking it right to Defunk at this point. Ooh, God, trying to go for the instant but Defunk just ducks out of the way. Trading blows back and forth at this point.
You know, I came into this and a couple thoughts occurred to me when I saw this. One was that there was no reason Grimm needed to have the device on premises. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. Now go get it from Isla Score. Well, and I'm sure Sawyer can maybe, whenever he gets there, can tune us in on how much of a challenge that is. Although Defunk might not be completely afraid of that. He wants some kind of challenge. And then the second idea I had is, what is Defunk gonna actually do with the device when he gets it? Like, I mean, I don't mean to insult the man's intelligence, but dangerous cult leaders and weapons of mass destruction, whatever the device seems to be, well, we seem to think it's a weapon of mass destruction, do not mix very well together, and I don't really need to give any examples. We can do the math.
Like, my first thought is turn it off. Oh, and here we see the storyteller interrupting the match, but he's just walking down from the ramp, not really doing too much of anything. Why does the storyteller just... Oh, God, and the eye patch is off. Oh, roll up. One. Key count at one. Yeah, the eye patch, the eye covering is off for the storytellers. He's gazing into the soul, or gazing into. Oh, another roll up. Like, I don't know what the storyteller and Grimm are even like. What? I understand that they were in the Murder Cave, and that was kind of partial the reason of like the Faces of Fear joining the Faces of Fear. The Four Horsemen joining the Faces of Fear, and then splintering off to form the Four Horsemen. But once again, I don't know what the hell Storyteller's is doing, and he's probably not going to tell us. Or if he does, it's probably going to be in some cryptic riddle.
Well, Funk, you ineffective. Back in the ring goes the Funk. Dr. Grimm on his feet.
And it was pointed out to me, however, at some point that storyteller and I believe we've said this already. The storyteller and Grimm. With the Faces of Fear, it was right, or was it the new Four Horsemen?
You will get into the literal branch that is Grimm's allegiances when this match is over, because it's going to take longer than what we have left in this match.
Absolutely, you're very right on that. It's just, it's sort of satisfying, but also very concerning, seeing a match like this up, because with stakes like this on the line, I'm not really so sure if Defunk is knowing exactly what he's risking. Because just by pushing Grimm's buttons like this, like, that seems good enough of a reason to me for Grimm to just, you know, not play fair. Like, why wouldn't he just say, turn the device back on, or set a timer somewhere, in event of a possible, unexpected variable?
And you can't really get more unexpected, honestly speaking, than Defunk. And here we have the Mandible Claw just retching at the helmet of Defunk, and Defunk passes out. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Dr. Grimm. The device is set. Oh, hold on. We got a automated message. Device was set into overdrive and temporarily disabled just before this match took place. What the fuck? Okay.
As they're carting him outside, he's being carried to the back. He's not moving.
Defunk carried back to a facility.
Yes, I took some notes and I had to listen carefully. Apparently, foam was coming out of his helmet.
Wait, what?
And he was, yes, there was. Shortly after he was wheeled out of the arena, and once they started going backstage to try to get him some medical care, foam started coming out, like just frothing underneath the helmet. We haven't heard anything since, but Defunk is, as a result of this match, is officially out of competing for the very short future. And that's why I was referencing earlier about whether it's really worth it to go after the device because of all the contingencies that Grimm likes to have on hand. So that kind of, I heard of the foam and I thought, okay, well, maybe the man was poisoned somehow. And considering that gauntlet, that and moves like the quarantine, you know. I mean, I'm not that much of a smart person, but I think a little something got slipped in under the little the pointy bits, you know.
First,
I hope the fuck is okay, but he's out of action now.
For sure. And so what I mentioned earlier. So I guess you could say the pyramid of allegiances that Grimm had. So there was first the Ascension with Grimm, Ogre, as well as Ramon. Ramon went to go form the the new Four Horsemen with Pestilence Demon, Grizzly Adams, and originally Helix Sucks. Helix Sucks splintered from that group to go do his own thing. Grimm, however, when that group kind of ran its course, formed the Order with the Storyteller, who they seemed to still be aligned together, and also Kane, who we now know was only with them because Grimm brainwashed Kane. When the Four Horsemen came to Flashbang, however, it was still the three of them, and they unleashed they revealed their new personification of death. And who was it but Dr. Grimm? And because the storyteller went to go join a faction called the Faces of Fear at that point, and convinced the then head of the Faces of Fear, Lucius Constantine, to allow the new Four Horsemen to join their ranks. And then, well, they all turned on Lucius. The Faces of Fear being dissolved, and the Four Horsemen was, not the new Four Horsemen. And then the Murder Cave was formed off the back of that, with Chaz Lee joining them, as well as Arkoff. I probably botched a lot of that, but fuck, man, there's a lot to keep up with.
We got a message mentioning that Kane had psychiatric evaluation done by Grimm. I remember Kane referencing that at certain points about how the storyteller and others were essentially just toying with him, and he's just been. It's just a hard spot for Kane, still to this day.
Oh, for sure.
For example, like the match he completely threw out and essentially demanded the storyteller, and went so far as to just even attack him.
Right, for sure. And also, yes, we did get confirmation that's the brief stint of it all, because we could get into more detail, but we don't have enough time.
So many old stories kind of weaving back in with the new. But that said, we still have a whole lot to get to, like Joe said. What do we got next?
Well, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we got the promo of the week for the Warzone side of things. We're gonna definitely hear. We are hearing back from the MNW Heavyweight Champion himself. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Zacco Duo.
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. Yes, I've been absent from TV since my match against the main man. But make no mistake or assumptions. I'm not going anywhere, I'm not injured, I'm not sick, and I'm damn sure not afraid of anything. I've spent the last year fighting to represent you, the people, and forging change in this company. And I can already tell this company is going to be in good hands long after I'm gone, whenever that day will be. Because just like when the Inquisition threatened our way of life, when HR tried to politic its way around the title scene and play around with our livelihood, nearly every single wrestler in the back stood up, unionized, and pushed the agenda back against the wall. So now, Anon, you're on your own. Your mercs are getting attacked by the wildest animals in professional wrestling, your moneymakers either ditched you or morally took a stand, and your big bad nuclear monster was buried under 24,000 pounds of solid concrete and memes. That was the toughest, most brutal match of my career, and I still came out on top! Let that match serve as proof that no matter how ridiculous the match, how decorated the adversary, no matter how much the deck is stacked against me, I am and will continue to stay the multiversal heavyweight champion until this steel body of mine crumples. Multivania, whether it's Nice Ice, Sir Uncle Dunk, Wilson, or the Beef, I'll be standing there ready. No backstabbing, no politics, no underhanded plays, just watching to see who emerges from the fire to face me. Meet me at the mountaintop. I'll be waiting.
The champion has some very, very vicious, venomous words for his potential opponents, and we're gonna go right on ahead to see who is going to go into the finals of the King's Road tournament. Bam. Anyway, so we know that Nice Ice advanced over to Funk. We know that Uncle Dunk beat Warfist, who was the jester, to go into the semis. The Beef defeated Seth Jackson, and the Victimizer Wilson beats Injustice Jake. And, well, we've had enough talk. Let's get on into it, shall we? Anyway, first off, we got representing Blood Money with Mr. Butler coming down to the ring with him, and Nakano Kirishima, Sir Uncle Dunk, and being led down to the ring by Lock-In, representing the Eastern Bloc Party, Nice Ice. Siberian Cyborg versus Old Money. Capitalism versus Communism Part 2, baby. And with a nice back suplex onto Uncle Dunk.
Who do you like in this match, Michael?
Do you have to ask me that, Jerry?
I do.
Of course I like Sir Uncle Dunk. Right?
Pete, who are you pulling for?
This was just such a treat to see. With Uncle Dunk just working his way through the King's Road tournament, and Nice Ice having won over on the Funk previously in another match. It's just, just the classic sort of, communist versus capitalist mindset. Although Uncle Dunk is gonna have a lot of work cut out for him there. He is a tough man, but Nice Ice is just, he's just been on fire ever since his return.
Also, Butler, old money is the term for someone who's pretty much had generations upon generations of wealth. Yeah, he ended up losing it at last year's, at 2020's Multivania, but he got it back through fucking underhanded means, mind you. Still can't go on that vacation.
I mean, when you have old money, that doesn't just reference that, you got your money from your parents. It also kind of references just sort of the prestige of his name, and I don't have it all written down, but Uncle certainly takes a bit of pride in his, his roots, I guess, in his full name. Like, not everyone uses their full name to that extent, and, I mean, when you got that, yeah, you might as well, you know?
I mean, Uncle Dunk carries a lot of prestige on his name and also his wallet, and I mean, which is kind of indicative of like also Nice Ice here. I mean, he carries a lot of pride in not only his values, but also in his like absolute power. And here we see the aforementioned Mr. Butler, like his boss would have been pinned right there if Butler didn't say anything. He probably bought his employer a couple of precious seconds.
And while we were talking, actually, I noticed we should mention how Nakano Kirishima actually has been removed, and there goes Mr. Butler having also been thrown out by the ref from the looks of it.
We got some confirmation from Forrest the Fortress. U.S. Tower working on restoring the vacation fund. Thank you. Been wanting to go to that lake house for like 3 years now. Anyway.
Hopefully in time for Multiverse, because this is going to be a whole lot of stuff that we're going to have to... It's going to get covered, and I think Joe here could use a break. My god.
Well, looks like Nice Eyes was not going to trust the Midas punch on that one. Blocks it and ends up whipping Uncle Dunk into the ropes.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I believe it was, it doesn't show very well in editing, but, some of the commentary, was saying that, Mr. Butler or, Nakano might have slipped something to Uncle Dunk, but I'm not sure, because I can't really see it that well on camera here.
I mean, I will admire the dedication that Nakano and also Butler have to their boss and trying to help him succeed. I mean, I have like 3 ideas what Nakano could have slipped to Uncle, and neither of those are good. Could have been a ring. Could have been brass knuckles. It could have been like a diamond encrusted brass knuckles. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Uncle Dunk has like not brass knuckles, but diamond encrusted knuckles. You know, like made out of factual diamonds. Oh, roll up. Nice Ice got him in a small package. Roll up. And Nice Ice picks up the victory in this rematch of communism versus capitalism. Going into the finals, Nice Ice prevails.
Although not exactly without having had a mark left on him, as we see a little bit of the, I mean, the Siberian. I guess is that blood or is that
like what, coolant?
Coolant leaking? Yeah. Because I mean, if you're a cyborg, I mean that usually means you're just half.
Listen, I don't try to even begin to understand the frickin' intricacies of Siberian technology.
Thankfully, though, at least our very handy dandy King's Road tournament map is not as complicated.
Oh,
so
right.
On the left side, we have Nice Ice and Defunct, the result of that, and Uncle Dunk having defeated our indie wrestler Warfist.
And Nice Ice defeating Uncle Dunk to advance into the finals. The finals are going to be this coming Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be seeing who Nice Ice is going to be facing. Is it going to be the Beef of VIP, or is it going to be the Victimizer, Wilson? And here we have the Victimizer himself carving a bloody path of broken bones and bloodied bodies. And his opponent, his former faction mates, the Beefling. Hell, these two were as thick as thieves. And now, after everything that Wilson's been through, he's just finally hit a breaking point and ousting himself from VIP.
So essentially, both these men are going into this with everything they have. Just the beef with his sheer tenacity and loyalty for his faction, and Wilson with his own self-serving agenda. I believe prior to this, we just heard, right before this match came out, both Wilson and the Beef made it clear their thoughts on the other, the Beef feeling exceptionally betrayed, and people, he even admits that people can say what they want about him, but he's at least loyal to what he believes were his friends and family, and it hurt. It generally seemed like he was hurt by it and everything going on, but that's all Wilson wants to do. He feels like he's been wronged in the past, and now he's going to make everyone else hurt. And I don't doubt he's going to make Beef a bloody mess, and if not himself becoming a bloody mess at the end of this.
For sure, because like this has got to be the most personal match in either of these men's careers.
It was, when we looked at the Kings Road tournament, something that was kind of unspoken was just the anticipation of a matchup like this. Because, let me just say, MNW and its fans are just so fervently, they were set on the idea of these two just getting into the ring with each other after Wilson's turn on the Beef and Aussie in that one match prior against the Murder Cave, where Wilson deliberately cost them that match by low blowing Arkolf. It propelled the Murder Cave up the ranks a little bit to the trios contention that we've been going through on Warzone, and now Wilson's just going headfirst into the Kings Road tournament along with everybody else. He pretty much has said, throw whoever you want at me. I want a title shot at the Multiversal Heavyweight belt.
For sure. And, I mean, here we see Wilson, Crimson Mask. Looks like his chest is busted open as well. The Beefling worked his old running mate raw, essentially. He, just continues to try to work on him, but Wilson is just not giving up. There was this newfound resiliency that Wilson seems to have. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of becoming a little bit admirable. It's becoming very admirable in a way. But the way that he's going about this, got big boot from the Beef. The way he's going about this, I just don't feel like is the best way of going about doing it, honestly. And I don't think it's going to stop. Like, say Wilson wins the entire tournament and he takes the title off of Zako, it's not going to stop there.
Oh no, I've said it before, I believe. If I hadn't said it on last Firing Line, or I've definitely said it between our private talks, there's nothing stopping Wilson from going over the Flashbang and victimizing everybody else on that roster and everybody else who's ever competed at MNW. He's going to terrorize the rest of the multiverse. And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, with the Crimson Mask, bloodied, beaten, but ultimately having become the victimizer of the Beef, his former ally and friend, Wilson. No music, no gimmick, just sheer ferocity and violence and bloodshed. That's all he needs. That's all he wants. And like I was saying, again, I will reiterate it. If he takes the Multiversal Heavyweight title belt, he's going to have a whole line of people ready and waiting and willing to go after him. That is a whole pile of bodies that he's just going to be exposed to, and he wants nothing less, let's be honest.
For sure. And here are your finalists, ladies and gentlemen. Working on this in the background, but didn't get it done in time. Boop. There we go. Nope. This is... It's bugging me. It's fake. There we go. Finally. So, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Your finalist. On one side, you have Nice Ice. And then on the other, the Victimizer Wilson. This matchup is going to be... This is actually... For those who don't remember, or weren't around, this is going to be a rematch of sorts from the Big Oof title back in 2020. Back then, I believe it was actually Wilson who took the title off of Nice Ice. So, yeah. There's a lot at stake here, besides just a Multiverse Nexus Wrestling, but besides an MNW title shot. But...
Oh yeah, no, you're right, Joe. It's gonna get a lot. It's gonna get very personal, but it's also gonna get very, very red. And I don't mean communism. There's gonna be a lot of bloodshed in this match.
Sorry, it's just I swear I need to get checked out for these things because these things bug me too much.
Anyways,
and like let's also remember the last time that Nice Ice had a main event title shot like this was the night that he faced Hat Smoke back in 2020, and that's when Injustice Jake, formerly then Justice Jake, cashed in his Mega Money in the Bank that he won previously in the night to become the MNW Multiversal Champion. So, and I think this would be Wilson's first, this would definitely be his second top title shot, because I believe he was in the finals for the to crown the inaugural Flashbang World Heavyweight Champion. And it was a fatal 4-way, if I remember correctly, and Wilson was the last one to get pinned by Ginger Boy.
well, I'm sure that with everything heating up in the title scene as far as the Multiversal Heavyweight Championship is concerned, thankfully, something I love that our competitors do is they explain where they came from, especially for those newer in the audience, like myself, and some of the viewers at home watching. So I'm sure we'll get a very lovely refresh in the very near future. Although that said, we should probably get on to what else we have waiting in the night.
Well, coming up is the main event of the evening. Coming up next, we have the match to determine who is going to take on AAA at Multivania. We have the Absolute Units, Absolute Washington, TJ the Mint Gable, and Forrest the Fortress Wade going up against the Murder Cave, Chazlee, the Allfather Arkoff, and the Bringer of War, Grizzly Adams. So essentially a bunch of units go up against a bunch of, actual factual murderers. And here we see the Taxman going up against the Bear, Absolute Washington going up against the Allfather, and Chazlee taking on TJ the Mint Gable. The Engineers going up against the Boxer, only in the Nexus.
Oh God, Joe! It's like I was saying earlier when we were going through Flashbang's recap, leading up until hopefully tomorrow. It's just the sheer amount of just star power that we're getting on the road to Multivania. It is, you're not gonna see this probably for a long time, like a matchup like this. And it's just, there's a lot of hope, obviously, that the Absolute Units will pull off the win. But there's also just the immediate and just persistent fear that the Murder Cave is just going to leave a pile of bodies in the ring.
And I had complete and total faith in the Absolute Units to win this match. They are by far one of the most well-oiled machines that Warzone has. If they weren't going to be considered for this shot, I would be wondering what Aldini's doing at that point. And let's kind of keep Forrest's allegiances, his ties to the administration to the side, because there is no like on the Warzone side of things, there is no better trio to get this kind of shot than the Absolute units. It's
Oh no, absolutely. It's been brought up before actually that if I'm correct, they all grew up on the same street together. They know each other from childhood. This is like the dream you would have with your buddies when you're like you're on the playground or you're just shooting the shit in school. You're just, oh, what if we were all to become trios champions? It's like that's a literal childhood dream, and it's like it's cathartic and a very sentimental, and it hits really close to home. It's like the guys you knew down the street, the three best friends. That's who they are, and I believe even Forrest Wade, Taxman, yes. And again, you were saying administration aside, he is loyal to his friends. That's where he stands. It's like it's really hard to separate a group like that. I was just more scared that we were gonna watch a murder, live, which would not be out of place for the Murder Cave.
Well, it wouldn't be. I mean, the Murder Cave themselves, I mean, especially the trio that they ended up going with, are all former MNW Multiversal champions. But they took out a huge piece of the puzzle by taking out our call first, and then a pile bunker. And Absolute Washington has been eliminated from this match. TJ the Mint Gable did not get there in time. And here we see Chaz and Grizzly just... Oh god, another pile bunker. Grizzly was trying to help double team the former boxing champion. TJ the Mint Gable has been eliminated by Chaz Lee, and all that's left is Forrest, the Fortress, against the Engineer Chaz Lee and the Bringer of War Grizzly Adams. This has got to be one of the toughest odds to go up against. Well, it looks like he was trying to go in for a Superman punch, but it gets denied by the Fortress. Grizzly Adams is on the outside. This is Forrest's time to get on top. 1, 2, 3, and now it's dead even, ladies and gentlemen. 1-on-1, the Fortress versus the Bear. God, you can't... Like, this was tense. I was going back and watching this, and I was like, I kind of had my hands up against my mouth and going, oh god, what's going to happen? So here you have the Forest, former tag team champion, albeit he was hanging on to it for the C101, and then Grizzly Adams, former, as far as I know, the only title he has under his belt is a former Multiversal champion. I think there was a tag title run in there, but I can't particularly remember. Somebody in chat will probably definitely have to help correct me on that one. Oh, lifting up Grizzly into a power bomb.
And everybody at home, you know what to call this. There are two big men in the ring.
Hoss fight! Oh, the Grizz end. Going for that cover. 1, 2. Kicking out at 2 is Forrest. It's like you... Faye, it's like you... Grizzly and Storyteller held the tag team titles in the C101. Thank you. That's what I figured.
Oh god, here we go.
Another knee strike, quick straight to the face, busting open the Taxman.
Yeah, I saw a bit of blood spray after that, and unfortunately, Forrest just a little woozy.
Unfortunately, the childhood dream does not come true for the Absolute units. Your winners are the Murder Cave. They go on to take on AAA at Multivania for the Trios Tag Team Championship. In AAA have a very, very difficult time into their first defense as the Trios Championships.
It was already difficult. I mean, let's just be honest. It was already difficult enough for them to get those belts. There were so many rematches and so many stipulations thrown their way, and it ultimately led to El Pollo having to roll up on Mad Jack in order to, because he is the chicken wing on him. It's been a whole gauntlet in of itself as far as the trios tag belts are concerned, and now being thrown the murder cave. I mean, definitely a worthy challenge. I would agree, absolutely. Again, though, it's gonna be a very bloody stage. I feel at the end of the whoever comes out champion as far as the trios tag belts are concerned. Although I will also say, part of the reason Warzone has been going through this, admittedly, as far as the administration is concerned, it's been mentioned how the trios tag belts originated actually on Warzone. So there's kind of a bit of a hope to bring them back. Now, as far as whoever takes those belts, we're just gonna have to wait and see until Multivania. But until then, that was our main event for the Warzone set of things.
And ladies and gentlemen, we've got one more thing left in the tank. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Warzone moment of the week.
What a brutal, violent spectacle. What does Wilson have planned? Oh!
I mean, what they have... Oh! At this point, they have every trick in their arsenal to take each other down. Spinebuster!
Spinebuster! 1, 2, 3!
And your winner, Wilson.
Wilson has been through a war, and he shows the battle scars. No offense to the Bone Warriors, but we have it now. Next week, Wilson versus Nice Ice, Kings Road Tournament finale.
Wilson beating his former faction mates and going into the finals for the Kings Road Tournament. And there's another bit of business here that I don't think I captured in the editing. Faye, you mentioned something about the beefling after the match.
Yeah, so it wasn't captured on camera because it just completely blew by everybody. But in the middle of just wrapping up the match, the beefling actually ran back into the commentary booth and he made a bit of a mess. He started throwing chairs and whatnot and ripped one right out from under Montoya. Scared the poor man. He was screaming bloody murder for Wilson, how he's going to kill him, and just, it was so painful to hear. I recommend sincerely checking the Warzone video for that last Saturday, because it was a blink and you miss it sort of thing if you weren't completely paying attention and tuned in. And we don't have anything on camera, but we do hear him, and thankfully security does get him out of there. So Michael's fine, and the beef is obviously he's not dead, but he's we're gonna see more of that probably in the near future. So things are not over, at least as far as the beef is concerned and Wilson is concerned. It's not over yet.
But until then, ladies and gentlemen, that is your moment of the week, and that is Warzone. And missed the coverage of the Constitution. Oh my God. You can't see it, but my hands are on my face right now.
Yeah, it seems like,
Son of a
little
bitch.
there was a little bit of a slip as far as, editing was concerned. So I will mention
It wasn't
it
an editing problem, it was a me. It was a
Oh,
me
you just...
fuck up. Okay. I'll tell you what happened. I was trying to get everything set up for tonight. I was. And it took me a minute. I won't lie. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Before we close out, I got this. Thanks, Jerry. I am a absolute fucking idiot. I swear to God, bro. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, we got one more thing left to show you to close out tonight. To close out our night here, we're gonna go right ahead into an in-ring promo from one Constant Nightmare, Constantinople.
Oh, Multiverse, dear Multiverse. The dreams, the things I've seen in my mind. When I doze off to slumber. The screams, the chaos, whether they be joy and mirth, or whether they be of pain. One of those screams that I'd love to hear is of the hero of yours. Somebody you all look up to and appreciate. Somebody with a hunk of metal that says he is better than the rest of us. And that's something that doesn't sit right with me. All the forces of chaos. So, what I'm going to do is start a new era here in the multiverse. A new age. The warp will twist and rend. Your favorite
Truck-sized man, a man-sized truck. If the man was as large as a truck, it's Malice.
It is pure, unadulterated malice.
Scanning. Designation, Constantinople. Species, rat ogre. Status, little bitch. Current mission, acquiring Big Oof Championship.
What a piddly little machine spirit in such a large tin can. Where'd you get your spare parts? Have you been to AutoZone recently? What is this? Why are you here interrupting my speech about how I'm going to tear that little knight apart?
Current status of Malice. Meme is busy. Rosso hunting clowns. Zacco duo. Defending Multiverse Heavyweight Championship. Malice. Time on my hands. Solution. Challenge for Big Oof.
No, I've already done this. No, you can't just come here and interrupt me and ruin my brilliant soliloquy because you're bored, you stupid, impudent machine. Go wander off back to the scrapyard where you came from and drain your oil pan, you bitch.
Opinion of Constantinople. Irrelevant. Big Oof Championship. Open challenge belt. Not first come, first serve challenge belt. Malice officially challenge for Big Oof. Face Sir McCheese and Constantinople.
See, this is why I don't like you bots. And your logistics algorithms, they're so linear. So poignant, don't carry this with them. But fine. You want to throw a wrench in things? What am I saying? Of course I love it. I enjoy the chaos, the thrill. At the end, the master of chaos is
Malice looks forward to pinning Rat Ogre and proving in the significance of chaos warp capability. Malice will prove mech abilities superior to Twisted Fleshling. Malice, make promise.
And I look forward to twisting your mental body and rending your machine spirit into something so vile and twisted they won't let you into the building. Children, your fans, your brethren will cry at the sight of your mangled visage.
Analysis. Constantinople spewing hot air with no significance. Malice promises to win belt, defeat Constantinople, and bring gold to main event Next.exe at Multivania event. Malice, roll out.
So, not only are we going to be getting Constantinople versus Sir McCheese for the Big Oof title, but we're also going to be adding in pure, unadulterated Malice into that, and it's going to be at Multivania, ladies and gentlemen. That triple threat, I'm not going to lie, that is going to be one of the hard, if not the hardest hitting match of the entire card. That's going to be absolutely bonkers. And apologies for not... I know what happened. So, I was trying to get Flashbang edited yesterday. And I was trying to get OBS set up so I didn't have to worry about it coming in today. But I guess in my haste, I forgot to add that into the program. So, try and do better about it for next time. That's all I can do. But that is Warzone. And so, Faye, as we are winding down here, is there anything that you would like to tell the Firing Line audience?
Please stay safe. Please stay inside if you're experiencing the heat wave out there. And make sure to tune in for Flashbang, ideally tomorrow, unless the scheduled time is pushed back.
Yep.
You can catch a Flashbang tomorrow on twitch.tv/Edward Bosco. And join us, because we also have Warzone to cover on Saturday, streamed on twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban. I hope to see you all there. And for those of you who can't make it, there are the VODs and everything. There is everything on YouTube, so do check out the YouTube channel as well. Now is a very, very good time to get caught up if you find yourself with some extra time, because there's a lot of stories going on and hoping to resolve themselves. A lot of ambitions, a lot of dreams coming into Multivania. So make sure to get yourself caught up and ready, because we do have Multivania scheduled, and remember, it is scheduled for the weekend of the 9th and the 10th of July. So do set your calendar dates, everybody. And is that until otherwise announced.
Yeah, and until then, ladies and gentlemen, for my co-host Fajon, I am Mojo, and we are signing out.
Greetings to you, it is I, MNW 13 of Flashbang, here to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe.